I had no idea that I would be very good at being a virtual assistant, but maybe one of the main key things is that you can wear your pajamas and you can get work done and get paid for it. And you can usually live anywhere in the world as a virtual assistant. So I wanted to talk about that career. I thought before we got too far into these videos, I should make it really clear that some days I'm going to look like this. Maybe more days than less days. It's hard to tell. Part of the reason that I wanted to just get that out there early is because I think there's a lot of women out there and non-binary friends, probably, and men who maybe are neurodivergent like me, and being comfortable is like of utmost priority. So if that is you, I wanted to talk about my first career after staying home with kids. The reason that I thought that would be helpful on this channel is because I do talk about move abroad stuff, and that career is being a virtual assistant. That's the career that I had for 6 years before whatever this is, this inspirational, messy hair in my coat, because I live in Portugal and the heating is a different situation here. So here we are in my bedroom. I would love to be in my cute living room that you've seen me in. I would love to be put together, but I am not always going to be put together. So my point is, you can look like this and you can do real work. And that real work can take you across the ocean, which is a big part of how we ended up living abroad, because I managed to start a career after being home with my kids for 13 years. And that was working with usually small entrepreneurs who were maybe hiring their first help in their business because their business had grown enough as a solo entrepreneur that they needed some help. And so the first person I worked with was, shout out to Tamika G. She is amazing. The only person that I send people to for weight loss, really. She was my trainer at the time, and I did a training program to become a virtual assistant, which I will link down in my video description. But I did that, and I just mentioned to her, hey, I don't know if you need a virtual assistant, but if you do, like, I'm doing a program and I would love to, I'd love to work with you. And she did need a virtual assistant, and so we worked together on and off for many years. And yeah, it's a really, it was an unexpected job for me as a person who almost certainly has ADHD, but also certainly doesn't have time to get diagnosed. ADHD meds work really well for me, and I hear that that's one of the best tests to know. Plus, I have, whoop. Hi, I'm on video. Sorry. That was my husband. I love him a lot. Okay, so anyway, I figured out as a grown-up in like the last few years that I probably have ADHD. I hear that happens a lot for women in perimenopause because their estrogen, which was apparently really helping, starts to tank, and then then you start struggling more with the things that you had figured out how to manage all those years. All of that to say, back to the VA topic. The great thing for me about being a VA, especially as a mom of 5, is that I can tuck it in between tasks. You're usually working asynchronously with your person. You do a lot of voice noting. Maybe you have like a meeting to check in, once a week at the most, in my situations anyway. But I really, really liked that career. I am a creative at heart, and so I sort of wanted to create my own thing, which is why I'm here doing this. However, it was such a good launching job, especially transitioning out of being a stay-at-home mom. I think I'll actually include a video that I did to like a little info course, not the right word. I did like a 30-minute video telling people who have been stay-at-home moms the skills that they have that would lend really well toward being a virtual assistant. So, yeah, it's a really amazing career. And I am not an organized person. You may have guessed this just by looking at me today. But I am able to be an organized person when I am motivated. That's the whole ADHD problem, right? Like, we can really get things done when we want to. So I think because I'd had so many years doing things because I had to as a mom, and I don't mean like, oh, poor me, I had to do the things, but like, emailing the school or helping the kid with the homework or making sure they have the right uniform. Like, there's so many things that you do as a mom, even when you're a mom with ADHD, that you know how to get stuff done as a mom. And so some of the best VAs are women who were staying at home with their kids, and now they're like wanting to get back in the career world, and they have major get shit done skills, and they make really good VAs, and that's why I made a really good VA. Yeah. So just to give you perspective, I was, I hope that loudness doesn't come through. We'll see. I was working with a financial, see, this is the problem with perimenopause, a fitness trainer. So online fitness. She has all kinds of different programs. And then also she, for a long time, hosted retreats, wellness retreats, overall holistic wellness. So I helped with those. I did travel planning for, like, I was working with somebody who was a creator, family travel, and so I was doing itineraries with her, which was amazing because that's like what I love anyway and what I'm really good at. Then I worked with an author when she was launching her first book and doing all the promo stuff. So if you're familiar with Canva, you get to play with Canva a lot in certain virtual assistant roles. Writing copy. So like I was able, with sort of my creative artsy side, to really lean into that as a VA. But I also did like personal assistant stuff, like making appointments, answering emails, researching like stuff for my clients about how to do copyrights or how to respond to the letter that they got for the DMV. I mean, like, the variety of things that you do as a VA is very broad, especially if you happen to be like hire number one, like the first person that entrepreneur hires, because it's like they're doing whack-a-mole, and so then you begin a little bit doing whack-a-mole, or just the tasks that are required for for being a solo entrepreneur. And then, they have their first person, you, that is helping. So I think I think a lot of moms, after staying home with their kids, feel like, oh, I can't really have a career, or, like for me, I had my kids really young. Um, my first daughter was born when I was 24. And so I didn't really get to like have a career outside of being a mom. And so I wasn't really sure that it would work for me, especially because I didn't feel organized. I had this idea of like a VA being like a really, really type A administrative, organized person. And the thing is, like, I had learned how to organize my life well enough with 5 kids and how to apply for our adoptions or like apply for visas to different countries. Like, I had done nitty gritty type A, really focused work. And so that is part of being a VA, is like really attention to detail stuff. But I had learned how to do that because, I had filled out doctor's forms and paperwork and whatever. Like moms just learn how to do a wide variety of things. And so, yeah, it's a fantastic, flexible career. I am linking the training program that I used just because it was very thorough. The woman, Esther, who founded the training program that I used, like, she was a VA, and then she started running an agency of VAs, and she's very, very familiar with like online work. And I think, well, I've noticed that the generation of my children just want to be like outside and do hands-on stuff or work at a coffee shop, or, like they really want hands-on stuff. I feel like for moms in my age range, being able to work remotely, just being able to work from your laptop feels like the biggest, most wonderful thing ever. And for me, it really was, because it was the job that I started doing so that I would have an income when we moved abroad. And there were times that my husband wasn't working or he took a sabbatical. And yeah, like I worked. We jokingly called the bed my boffice, my bed office, because a lot of times I would just wake up and drink my coffee and begin working, which doesn't sound super fun, except like the flexibility of it is unmatched, especially for somebody like me who doesn't like to always get dressed and feel pulled together and like have to leave the house. And then there's always the struggle for moms of like, I want to be there for my kids' stuff, and then, but I need to be in the office. Like, so it was a game changer for me, being able to start an online career. I actually learned a lot of the things about being an entrepreneur that then I am taking into being a move abroad mentor. I know how to learn new tech. I know how to start a YouTube channel, or at least I know how to like research how to start a YouTube channel. Like, all of those things became really accessible for me because I was helping entrepreneurs do it. And I was figuring it out as they were figuring it out. And so I know so many tools now that serve me in my current career. And I don't know, it's just been unexpectedly a great job for somebody who is a mom who's neurodivergent. So I just wanted to tell you about it. You can niche in sort of different types of things. I ended up niching in like wellness, so wellness retreats, holistic retreats, and like coaching. So I ended up working with wellness coaches of various persuasions. So yeah, like it can be what you make it. It can be really interest driven. Some people are podcast VAs. A lot of people are nervous about VA stuff right now because of AI. However, I think especially for a virtual assistant who's like learning how to do things, learning to use AI as a tool for them, for organizing or strategizing, there are still things that we just really need like human brains on. That's part of why I'm here too, speaking at a normal speed, not with flashy whatever. I'm just here trying to have a human connection. I know that I am in a screen, but I think that there's something to be said for having a real human helping you with your real business. And so I totally recommend checking out being a virtual assistant, especially for moms who need flexibility and who don't like to get dressed. So anyway, I am very happy you're here. Again, you can check out the links in my video description for some more resources on this subject. But if you want to move abroad and you want a flexible job, this is a really cool career possibility for you. Bye.